everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Monmouth Park on Saturday is the Grade 3 Philip H. Iselin. Let's take a peek at this field. We are going a mile and a 16th on the main track. $250,000 is the purse. And this race is notable, Mike, because we have the return of the 2019 Travers winner, Code of Honor, a horse that's banked almost $3 million in his career, but one that hasn't raced since the Pegasus World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, caught me by surprise when I saw his name in here, Dan. It does obviously feel like a good spot for this horse if you feel like, he's still capable. His Pegasus World Cup wasn't great, but prior to that, he ran a bunch of races that are going to make him tough in here.
And he'll get Lasix back on. Of course, he had no Lasix in the Pegasus. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector for the Iselin. Monmouth can be a speed-friendly track, and maybe that, coupled with the fact that Timeform US believes this race will favor horses on or near the early lead, will help a horse like the number 7 Bryce, who's won 5 races in a row and has really just stepped up his game. This is a huge step up in class.
Right. I mean, I guess they'll just send him here and see what happens, Dan. It's a huge step up in class for him.
You and I are big fans of the number 1, West Will Power, who was a dominant winner, going a mile and a 16th at Keeneland 3 starts back. Let's watch his most recent start. That winner's a 3 other than at Saratoga, and I think 2 things worked against him, Mike. I think the mile and an 1/8 is a little far for West Will Power. We're going to see him duck out from left-handed urging in mid-stretch. And also, I think the horse that beat him, Forza Dioro, if that horse stays sound all season long, he could be a major player in the handicap division.
Yeah, I mean, that's what really worked against him in this race, because at the end of the day, West Will Power actually runs very well in here, and he's well clear of the rest of this field, Dan. I thought he ran a nice race in that spot. Forza Dioro, I think you're right. You're going to see him in a major graded race next time, assuming Mott can keep that horse in one piece. I don't know. I like this horse. He's got really good tactical speed from the inside. The slight cutback feels like it probably does work for him. He's dangerous.
Only off the board once from 7 starts and a lot of upside as well. Croatian is the number 2. This horse was claimed out of his most recent start for $30,000. Didn't do much sprinting. He's probably better going longer, but they tested him 2 back in the Salvatore Mile, and he was found wanting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you really make a case for him in this race. He certainly has run some okay races, and when he catches some pace in front of him, he'll make some kind of a late rally, but he looks like he's in way too tough here.
I'm a G6 is the kind of horse that could push Bryce in the early part of the race. Let's watch his most recent start, a handicap at Gulfstream, going a 1-turn mile, and he did push the pace in this race. It's just that he's unable to hold on to the lead. He's going to finish second, a tiring second, and I'm just not sure this performance, even though he does come back and hook the 4 Pro Quality, who looked like he had him beat, I'm just not sure this performance is good enough to win a race like this.
Yeah, I agree. This race didn't do anything for me, and to be honest, Dan, his prior races didn't really do a lot for me when you consider who he's running against in this spot.
I think he can make a slight case for Magic Michael, or even a stronger than slight case for Magic Michael. He won 3 races in a row. The Battery Park 2 starts back, while Fat Man had the clear run on the outside. Magic Michael was sort of held up in behind horses, and I think that could have cost him. Last time out, the race will show you right now the deputed testimony. There's no pace. And I was very surprised that Magic Michael wasn't more forwardly placed, breaking from the inside post. You give a horse like Harper's First Ride a half in 49-1, you're not going to catch him, but Magic Michael tries hard for second.
He's a hard trying horse. He's actually in good form leading into this race, Dan. So we'll see if he can just, take another. I mean, he has to take another step forward to be competitive with these horses. But I think, the points that you've made about his last 2 races are both valid, and maybe he could have made those races a lot closer.
And Code of Honor, of course, is the horse to beat just basically on his credentials. He's won the Fountain of Youth. He's won the Dwyer. He's won the Travers. He was placed first in the Jockey Club. He's won the Westchester. And he usually runs well fresh for Shug McGahee. What did you make of his Clark 2 starts back? It was a race where I thought Johnny Velasquez gave him a great trip in between horses. He eased out into the stretch. And Bodie Express, I guess, is better than we thought he was. We thought that Code of Honor should have gotten him.
I feel that way about that race too. I mean, he was, sort of in and among horses for a long way, but I thought all in all, everything worked out for him. He came clear in the stretch. And I was disappointed that he didn't run down Bodie Express in there. Of course, he then came back with 1 more race and didn't run that well in that spot either. So maybe he just needed the time off, Dan. I don't know. I wasn't thrilled with this horse the last time we saw him. I mean, even his Kelso 3 back, I mean, it could go by the figures. it's one of the best races he's ever run, if you want to look at it that way. I thought he was terrible in that race as well.
So what kind of distance horse is he? Is he a one-turn miler? Is he a longer distance horse? I think Shug's trying to figure out. He's always been good at a variety of distances. I'm just not sure if he's a specialist at any. Is he a jack of all trades and a master of none?
Yeah, maybe he is. I mean, I spent a long time thinking that he was a really good one-turn mile kind of horse, and I think you agree with me that he probably got really unlucky in the Met Mile last year, Dan, a race that just didn't set up for him at all. I thought he ran great that day, but obviously he's also really good going longer. So, I wouldn't pigeonhole him as any one kind of horse.
Here's Fat Man's last race, the Battery Park, the race he beat Magic Michael. He was favored in this race at Delaware. We see Fat Man swinging to the outside while in the green hat in behind horses. Magic Michael's been forced to wait. By the time Magic Michael gets out, Fat Man is gone. Fat Man is back in good form. He needed the class relief that this race provided. He was in a couple of tough graded stakes before this. I like him at a mile and a 16th, Mike.
Yeah, me too. I think that those are the right distance for him. I like this horse. I just think he's a good horse, Dan. And he has run a couple of races that will give him a real chance in here. I still think a race like this is probably a little tough for him. But listen, Ken Sweezy's got this horse back in good form, and he was good last time.
And what can you say? Bryce has won 5 in a row, including the race we'll show you right now. First off, the Jerry Hollendorfer claim, and he popped a big number. 94 Beyer speed figure, just going right to the front and never giving this field a chance. He's now won 7 of 16, and perhaps most importantly, he's 5 for 5 at Monmouth. He loves it here. The question is, A, is he good enough? B, can he slow this pace down to a crawl?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if they were just going to let him walk in this race. The horse down on the rail is not slow, and he should be going forward from the start. I mean, we'll see what he does, Dan. I would be shocked if he was able to wire this field, but we'll see.
Code of Honor, the horse to beat. Let's take a stab against him, Mike, as we take a look at our top picks. We got the same soupy. West Will Power, like the tactical speed that you mentioned, think he has upside, thought he ran deceptively well against an underrated horse last time out.
Yeah, I thought he did too. I also thought he ran deceptively well too back in the Salvatore Mile, Dan, a race that had a really fast pace, and he kept up close to it. I thought he ran well in that race too. Take a small shot against the favorite with him.
Let's see what Code of Honor does off the layoff. We'll go 1, 5, 6, 7 in the Iselin, the feature at Monmouth. Good luck.